This coming Sunday, March 20th, will be the Spring Equinox, also known as the first day of spring. And my favorite way to talk about the equinox is with the medicine wheel. And I most directly borrow that from the Native American culture. Then kind of the tradition I've studied in has its views on that. And so the medicine wheel, or the wheel of life, okay, the best way that I think of it, or I think to share it with you, I guess, is that these cultures, the Native Americans, most Aboriginal cultures, by the way, had some type of wheel of life or way of tuning in with the energy of the earth. Okay, so the idea is whatever's going on the earth, on the planet, or even on your part of the planet, okay, is going on inside of you, okay? And so because you are nature, you are the same, we're all life, nature is life, you are life. And so if we can learn by looking at, feeling and experiencing the energy of the earth, we can learn about and access the energy of what's going on inside of us. And if we're aware of it, then we can work with it, and we can, see the possibilities that we might not have otherwise seen. Okay, so the other cool thing that's just happened is we just had the time change. For most of us, that means that the days, well, they haven't really, well, they're getting longer too, but the light is it's light longer in the evening. Okay, now maybe you morning people are experiencing this in a different way, but to me it just feels like there's more light. The days seem longer to me, and it seems like a pretty big jump. So anyway, that's going on too. So when we notice this shift in energy that's going on in the planet, it's an opportunity to notice that shift that's going on inside of us. And among other things, springtime, if you look at nature, it's a time that plants and animals are being born. So it's a time to bring that back to us. It's a time that we're being born, okay? That something's being born in us, okay? And this is what's really, I think, often misunderstood about the medicine wheel. It's like is to figure out exactly what is being born, okay? Because often we want new things in our life. And by the way, spring, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, is the perfect time to offer an intention. Say you want a new career or a new relationship or a new life. It's a perfect time to offer that. But but the form of that doesn't really often come in the spring. Okay, it's more of this formless part of us that's being born. And a lot of times we think, oh, well, I want a relationship. It's not here yet. Why isn't my relationship here? Why isn't my new job here? It's not working. And then we throw it away. Huge, and I think that a huge mistake. I'll just say it, in my opinion. I've made this mistake, so I get to say it, okay? So what is being born? Well, the new you is what is being born. At least that's my truth. Okay, so there's a new you that's being born inside of you. And then it's a perfect time if you're willing, usually willing to be vulnerable or feel a little raw, you can allow that to come out. You can allow that energy to emerge into your consciousness and into your life, and that is such a powerful thing, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, but I want to go back to intention. So then what's going on with the intention? Because spring equinox is also an awesome time to offer an intention for your new year. Okay, so what's up with that? Well, if you think about it, this new you is being born. Okay, so there's this whole new energy about you. Okay, and so when you offer a new intention, this new you is kind of the ground, the fertile ground, if you will, that you can plant this intention in. It's a wonderful metaphor about planting seeds, and you can allow, so you're planting the seed of your new intention in this fertile ground of the new you. And it's a really, advantageous time. It's almost the time that we're most fertile, if you will. Okay, we're most fertile to offer an intention, and this fertility, if you will, is part of the newness, okay, of this new you. This is maybe a little weird. It's tough for me to talk about. Not tough, but it's challenging to talk about because it doesn't really, it's conceptually, it's an interesting concept. So anyway, so think of it, so there's two things that we can be doing this time of year. First of all, two tasks, if you will, for those of you taskmasters out there, like myself, is that there's two focuses or intentions that you can do in this time of year. First of all, as I described, is get in touch with the new you that's born. What does it feel like? What does this new you feel like? And it probably has no form. It's probably just this vague feeling of like, this seems a little different, or I seem a little vulnerable, or I seem a little different, or there's something in me that's different. It's new. It's exciting. It's maybe a little scary, but it's just really cool. So the first thing, and you can learn this by being out in nature. Being in nature and then finding that newness in yourself. That's the first task, if you will. And then the second is to think about what you would like to plant, an intention that you would like to offer inside of that, and then you can, so there's, and if so, when we do like Spring Equinox, workshops or retreats, which are my favorite. I'm very bummed that we're not doing one this year. Next year, I really want to do, so put it on your calendar. A year from now, I want to do a Spring Equinox retreat, or, workshop or something that does this. When we do those, when I offer those, these are the two things we work with. What is the new energy and what is the intention that you'd like to plant in that new energy, if you will? So the last thing I want to talk about in this video is an example. I always like to give my friend, my friend said, like, tell more stories, and that's a great idea. Thank you, Anne, for encouraging me to tell more stories. So this isn't as much a story as I just wanted to honor two people, and I do this thing on Thursday nights. We do this thing. It's kind of a collaborative effort, if you will. It's the sharing circle, and there's two members in our sharing circle. Well, there's actually more than two that are doing this, but there's two people that are really kind of right in the middle of this right now. Is they've got this newness, this new energy that's being born in themselves, and it's just it's like they're like this little fawn. My friend Anne, again, is she calls it like the wobbly pony. If you think of the little fawn that's just like can barely stand up, and that's what this energy is like. When often the new you, it's vulnerable. It's kind of it's not all like confident and like has this swagger. It's like, oh yeah, it's not like that yet. It's just brand new, and these two people in different ways. One guy and one gal, they're just like allowing that newness to be there, and it's uneasy for them because sometimes it hasn't even. Sometimes it's so new that it hasn't even, like, our mind doesn't even fully, doesn't even understand it yet. Okay, and it's not even plugged into our intellect because our intellect can't quite grasp it. So there's this newness, and so we're not often the most articulate. We're like, kind of like I am now, I guess, trying to describe this thing that's undescribable is what it's like. And it's like, well, it's kind of like, it feels like this, and da-da-da-da-da. And the best way through it is to stick with that, and then to kind of feel your way through it. Okay, it's like a trial and error, learning about the new energy. Like, what is this new me like? You know, what does it feel like? You know, that old trick I used to do, that doesn't seem to work well with this me, but this thing that I don't really understand, this seems to work. I got this new magic that I don't know how it works yet, but it's like, what I really honor about these two people is they've been for several weeks now, which is a huge amount of time when you're in a vulnerable space. They've been honoring this and allowing this. And it's not easy because they're having challenging articulating it, and it's maybe a little awkward. They're not confident. They don't really know what they're doing. They're like feeling their way through things. And that is one of the most, to me, that's one of the most powerful things that we can do. It's such a delicate time in the change process. And if you can sit like they are with this and play with it and feel it and work with it and learn about it, it leads to the most powerful thing, you know, and then all these intentions and this new aspect of yourself, the new form, the new you will come into life and be part of your life. And so that's what I would challenge you to do. And it takes a lot of courage. If you can do that, the new you is born. If we stay in our comfort zone, I mean, the new you does come about, but it's not as powerful as a transition or a transformation is if we really surrender to, let go of control, our favorite thing, right? Let go of control and surrender to the newness. So just that piece of cake, right? What do you need to do? It's like, just surrender to the newness. Okay, it'll be fun, all right? Well, and when it doesn't work, you can, send me an email and complain about it. But anyway, that is my video for this week. Thank you for watching. Happy spring, first of all, and I hope that you take some time to sit with and feel and experience the new you, and also start thinking about some things you'd like to unfold, some intentions you'd like to bring about this coming year. So I will see you in a week.